The other big thing where older people struggle, where I would argue is quite unique, is that they're quite generally, particularly it's changing slowly, but we're not there yet. I would say certainly late 70s and over, is there's a lot of digital exclusion. You know, everybody has to download the app for everything nowadays. People generally do struggle with that. And often that's the only way you can access things. That's the only way you can communicate with your bank, how you can pay your bills. And of course, for a lot of older people, that's just gone by the by.
So we really need to say, if you're watching, Staywell can help. Please refer. Please give them a call. What are other barriers that for us to try and convince people to approach yourselves?
The barriers of stigma plays a big part of that, and the barriers. People want to hold. You know, people really cherish their independence, and they really want to hang on to it for as long as they can. Of course, you do, and everybody does. But it's working with people and trying to get people to come to us sooner rather than later, and actually start accessing the things that we do. Start inquiring what's available to support people.
How do we break those barriers? How does your organizations break the barriers?
There is a lot of help if you know where that help is. The truth is, if you're depressed, if you're in debt and whatever, you look on the internet, there's so much information. There's so much, there's Mind, National, whatever, there's us, there's whatever. Really, do they really know who can really help them out of debt? People are baffled with the amount of information.
Yeah.
You're drowning in information. Who is really going to help you? Who is really there? Now, this is where we need help. Why we're here doing this podcast. We're praying and hoping that people will hear us in Kingston and beyond. We're hoping that people will know about what we do in Save the World Club in giving food and vouchers and furniture and clothes, and what Mind will do to help you improve your mind. And get yourself out of it, and address the feeling of hopelessness and helplessness that we're providing a positive thing.
Our brains, let's face it, they like to tell us the worst case scenario. Sometimes they like to
stick to the negative sometimes.
And they like to make us feel like we're alone, and that is not true. Ultimately, none of us are alone, and if you can just open that door and have that conversation, it might just be the first step out of that darkness.
So we need to ask the viewers, if you're watching, share that video.
Send
that video.
Share this video. Share this blog. Tell your neighbours.
You may think that I'm not sure if that person is or not. Send, because the idea of us doing the podcast is purely to inform you in Kingston of everything that's available here. And again, it doesn't need to be only the audience watching. Only if you are experiencing that. You might know somebody that needs their help.